Ladies and gentlemen, what if the secret to a magnetic personality and unshakable confidence lies in the small choices you make every single day? Forget grand gestures. Let's uncover the daily habits that transform who you are. Ladies and gentlemen, every day is a chance to shape the person you are becoming. Personality is not something you're born with and stuck with. It's something you build, refine, and improve through small, consistent actions. Confidence is not about being the loudest person in the room. It's about being comfortable with yourself, even when no one is watching. Today, I want to share some simple daily tips, small habits that can transform your personality and boost your confidence. These are not big, complicated strategies. They're simple actions you can start today, and if you keep doing them, your future self will thank you. When you wake up in the morning, the first thing most people do is check their phone. Notifications, emails, social media. Your day begins by consuming someone else's priorities, someone else's news, someone else's problems. And without even realizing it, your mind is already filled with noise, comparison, and pressure. But what if the first few minutes of your day could set the tone for everything that followed? What if instead of rushing into stress, you began with gratitude? Gratitude is one of the simplest yet most powerful tools you can use to improve your personality and confidence. Why? Because gratitude shifts your mindset from scarcity to abundance, from fear to calm, from frustration to strength. When you start your day by thinking about what you already have instead of what you lack, something changes in the way you see yourself in the world. You stop feeling like you're behind. You stop comparing your journey with others. You stop doubting your worth. Gratitude rewires the mind. Gratitude is not just saying thank you to life. It's about deeply acknowledging the things, people, and opportunities that make your life meaningful. It can be as big as being grateful for your health, your family, or your career, or as small as appreciating the warmth of your bed, the taste of your morning tea, or the smile of someone you love. This practice doesn't need to take long. You don't need a special journal or a complicated routine. Just take 3 to 5 minutes when you wake up and think about 3 specific things you are thankful for. Don't just name them, feel them. Think about why you appreciate them, how they make your life better, and how different life would feel without them. Yeah? For example, if you are grateful for your job, don't just say, I'm thankful for my job. Remind yourself of the struggles you faced before you got it. Remember the interviews you prepared for, the sleepless nights you spent wondering if you would succeed. When you relive that journey, your gratitude becomes more real, more powerful. If you are grateful for your health, imagine how much harder life would be if you couldn't walk, if you couldn't see, or if you were constantly in pain. We often forget how much we already have until we lose it. Gratitude is the act of noticing it now while you still have it. This small habit builds your personality in a quiet but profound way. People who practice gratitude every day tend to be more optimistic, more patient, and more resilient. They handle stress better because they focus on what's working instead of obsessing over what's not. When you meet someone like this, you can feel their energy. They are not easily shaken. They carry themselves with a calm confidence because their happiness is not dependent on external events. It's rooted in an inner sense of abundance. Gratitude also affects the way you treat others. When you are thankful for the people around you, you naturally become more respectful, more generous, and more understanding. Your personality becomes warmer. People are drawn to you because you make them feel valued. This is not about pretending to be nice. It's about genuinely appreciating others. And that appreciation reflects in your actions, your words, and even your body language. Confidence also grows when gratitude becomes part of your daily routine. Most people think confidence comes from achievements, money, or titles. But real confidence comes from knowing your worth without needing constant external validation. Gratitude reminds you of everything you already have, everything you've already overcome, and everything you've already built. This quiet awareness creates a deep inner confidence. When you start your day this way, you carry a different energy into your work, your conversations, and your challenges. Problems still come, but you approach them from a place of strength rather than anxiety. Opportunities appear and you recognize them more easily because you are already tuned into the positive side of life. Clear communication is one of the most underestimated skills in life. People think success is only about talent, knowledge, or hard work. But in reality, your ability to express yourself clearly can decide how far you go. It's not enough to have great ideas. If you cannot communicate them in a way that others understand, your ideas remain invisible. Most people confuse communication with talking. They believe that speaking more means communicating better. But real communication is not about how much you say. It's about how effectively you deliver your message so that it connects with others. Clear communication means your words are simple, direct, and easy to understand. The one common mistake people make is using complicated language to sound smart. But the smartest people in the world can explain complex things in simple words. When you communicate clearly, people don't have to work hard to understand you. This is what makes you stand out in meetings, interviews, negotiations, and even casual conversations. Clarity in communication starts with clarity in your own mind. If you are confused about what you want to say, your words will reflect that confusion. Before you speak, pause for a moment and ask yourself, what is the main point I want to share? Once you know your point, express it in a way that is concise and straightforward. Listening is another essential part of clear communication. Many people are so focused on what they want to say next that they don't truly listen to the other person. But good communicators understand that listening is just as important as speaking. When you listen actively, you don't just hear the words, you understand the emotions, intentions, and concerns behind them. This makes your responses more thoughtful and more relevant. Your tone of voice also plays a big role in how your message is received. Speaking too fast can make you sound nervous or impatient. Speaking too slow can make you sound unsure. A steady, calm tone creates confidence and trust. It shows that you are in control of what you are saying and that you believe in your message. Body language is another silent but powerful part of communication. You can have the best words, but if your posture, facial expressions, or gestures don't match your words, people will sense a disconnect. Standing straight, maintaining good eye contact, and using open gestures signal honesty and confidence. People respond to your energy before they even process your words. Clear communication also involves choosing the right words for the right situation. The way you talk to a close friend is different from the way you address a team meeting or a client. Adapting your language to suit your audience shows emotional intelligence, and this builds trust and respect. One of the best ways to improve communication is through practice. Pay attention to the way you speak in daily life. When you explain something, notice if the other person looks confused or distracted. If they do, it means you need to simplify your message. You can also practice by summarizing complex ideas in 1 or 2 sentences. This forces you to focus on the essence of your message. Feedback is another tool for improving communication. Ask trusted colleagues, friends, or mentors how you come across when you speak. Sometimes we are unaware of how our tone, speed, or choice of words affect others. Honest feedback helps you see blind spots and improve your clarity. Clear communication is not about trying to impress others with big words or long speeches. It's about making sure that your message is understood, remembered, and acted upon. When you practice this skill daily, it becomes part of your personality. People will start noticing how easy it is to talk to you, how they feel understood, and how you make complex topics simple for everyone. Improvement doesn't always require massive breakthroughs. Most people think they need to make big dramatic changes to succeed. But the truth is, small, consistent improvements create the biggest transformation over time. Imagine if you focused on just getting 1% better every single day. At first, it may feel like nothing is happening. 1% is so small you can barely see the difference. But over weeks, months, and years, that 1% compounds into something extraordinary. The problem is people want instant results. They start a new habit, a new skill, or a new goal and expect to see big changes immediately. When they don't see results quickly, they quit. But improvement works like planting seeds. You don't see the growth right away because the roots are forming underground. Real progress is invisible in the beginning. The key is to trust the process. Improving 1% every day can be applied to any part of your personality and confidence. If you want to become more confident, you don't need to completely change yourself overnight. Start with one small action. Maybe it's speaking up once in a meeting. Maybe it's introducing yourself to one new person. Maybe it's practicing better posture for 5 minutes. The next day, take another small step. Each day's effort builds on the last. This principle applies to skills as well. If you want to be a better communicator, don't aim to become a world-class speaker in a week. Focus on learning one new technique each day. How to pause effectively, how to use eye contact, how to adjust your tone. Over time, these small pieces create a big shift in your ability. The 1% improvement mindset also changes the way you handle mistakes. Instead of being discouraged when you fail, you ask yourself, what can I do a little better tomorrow? This keeps you moving forward instead of getting stuck in regret or self-doubt. Mistakes become lessons, and each lesson pushes you a little further. Another benefit of aiming for 1% daily improvement is that it removes the pressure of perfection. Many people avoid taking action because they believe they need to be perfect from the start. But when your goal is just 1% better than yesterday, the pressure disappears. You don't have to be the best, you just have to be better than you were before. This mindset also shapes your personality. People who improve themselves daily become more disciplined, more focused, and more self-aware. You begin to notice patterns in your behavior, habits that help you grow and habits that hold you back. Over time, you naturally start choosing the actions that push you forward. Confidence grows alongside improvement. Every small win builds a little more belief in yourself. Maybe you learned a new skill, handled a difficult situation better than before, or stayed calm under pressure. These small victories stack up. One day, you look back and realize you've become a completely different person. But it happened so gradually that it felt natural. This approach works in every area of life: your work, relationships, health, communication, mindset. The key is consistency. 1% doesn't feel like much, but it adds up in ways you cannot imagine. The person who commits to daily growth will always surpass the person who waits for the perfect moment to make a big change. The comfort zone is a safe place. It's where you feel secure, where things are predictable, where you don't have to take risks. But the comfort zone has one big problem: nothing grows there. The person you are today was built inside your comfort zone, but the person you want to become is outside of it. If you want a stronger personality and higher confidence, you have to step beyond that invisible boundary every single day. Stepping out of your comfort zone doesn't always mean doing something extreme. It doesn't mean you have to quit your job, move to a new country, or speak to thousands of people. Sometimes it's as simple as doing one thing each day that makes you slightly uncomfortable. It could be sharing your opinion in a meeting when you usually stay silent. It could be introducing yourself to a stranger at an event. It could be learning a skill that you're afraid to fail at. The reason stepping out of your comfort zone builds confidence is because discomfort forces growth. When you challenge yourself, you're proving to your own mind that you can handle more than you thought. Every time you face discomfort and survive it, your brain starts to believe, I can do this. Confidence is built through repeated proof that you can handle uncertainty. Many people stay in their comfort zones because they fear failure or rejection. But rejection is part of growth, and failure is a teacher that cannot be replaced. If you never step out, you never fail. If you never fail, you never learn. And without learning, your personality remains stuck in the same patterns. One way to make stepping out of your comfort zone easier is to start small. You don't have to jump into the deep end on day one. Start by taking small risks that challenge you, but don't overwhelm you. As you get comfortable with small risks, you naturally begin to take bigger ones. This gradual expansion makes discomfort feel more manageable. Another powerful way to step out of your comfort zone is to surround yourself with people who inspire you. When you spend time with people who are doing things you find intimidating, you start to normalize that level of challenge. What once felt impossible starts to feel achievable simply because you're seeing it happen in front of you. The discomfort you feel when you step out of your comfort zone is actually a sign that you are growing. Your heart beats faster, your mind races, your body feels tense. That's your system adapting to something new. With time, the things that once scared you become your new normal. This is how your comfort zone expands. Your personality becomes stronger because stepping out of your comfort zone shapes resilience. You stop avoiding challenges and you start seeking them. You stop waiting for perfect conditions and you start taking action despite fear. This habit makes you stand out in every area of life because most people never take these steps. Confidence also comes naturally when you live outside your comfort zone. Every uncomfortable situation you face becomes a story of courage you carry with you. You know you can adapt. You know you can survive challenges, and you know you can learn along the way. That knowledge changes the way you carry yourself, speak, and make decisions. Knowledge is one of the most powerful tools you can have for shaping your personality and building confidence. The world is changing every single day, and if you stop learning, you quickly fall behind. Reading and learning daily is not just about gaining information. It's about expanding your thinking, sharpening your mind, and discovering new ways to approach life. Many people think learning ends after school or college, but real learning begins when you decide to grow beyond the minimum requirements. Books, articles, podcasts, interviews, and even conversations with interesting people. All of these are opportunities to learn. The habit of reading and learning daily is like feeding your mind. Just as your body needs food to stay strong, your mind needs new knowledge to stay sharp. The beauty of reading is that it gives you access to the experiences, mistakes, and wisdom of others without having to live through everything yourself. You can read the biography of a successful entrepreneur and learn in a few hours what took them decades to figure out. You can study the mindset of great leaders, thinkers, and creators and apply their lessons to your own life. Learning also keeps your mind flexible. The more you read, the more you expose yourself to new ideas, different perspectives, and unfamiliar ways of thinking. This makes your personality more open and adaptable. People are drawn to those who can see beyond their own limited point of view, who can understand and relate to different opinions without feeling threatened. Reading also builds confidence in a subtle way. When you know more, you can contribute more in conversations, meetings, or any social interaction. You naturally feel more comfortable speaking up. When you have knowledge to share, confidence grows. When you no longer feel like an outsider in discussions. The more you learn, the more you feel equipped to express your thoughts with clarity and authority. One of the most effective ways to build this habit is to set aside a fixed time for reading every day. It doesn't have to be hours. Just 20 to 30 minutes can make a huge difference over time. The key is consistency. Reading a few pages daily is far more powerful than reading an entire book once a year. Now, you can also choose your reading material based on what you want to improve. If you want to develop leadership skills, read books on leadership. If you want to communicate better, study books on speaking, persuasion, and human psychology. If you want to build financial confidence, read about money management and business strategies. The more targeted you're learning, the faster you'll see results in your personality and confidence. Learning daily doesn't just mean reading, it also means observing, listening, and applying what you know. Every conversation is a chance to learn something new if you approach it with curiosity. Every challenge you face in life is a lesson in problem solving. Every mistake is an opportunity to improve your approach. The key is to keep your mind active. Curiosity is the foundation of daily learning. People who are curious never run out of opportunities to grow. They ask questions, they seek answers, and they challenge their own beliefs. Over time, this habit creates a personality that is both knowledgeable and humble, a combination that draws respect from others. Long before you speak a single word, your body is already communicating. The way you stand, move, and carry yourself sends signals to the people around you. This is why body language is one of the most powerful tools for shaping your personality and confidence. You could have great ideas and deep knowledge, but if your body language doesn't reflect confidence, people may never fully believe in what you say. Confident body language starts with posture. The way you hold yourself tells others how you feel about yourself. Standing tall with your shoulders back and your head upright signals self-assurance, while slouching or avoiding eye contact sends the opposite message. A strong posture doesn't just change how others see you, it changes how you see yourself. The mind and body are connected, and when you adopt confident body language, your mind starts to feel more confident as well. Eye contact is another important element. Looking someone in the eyes when you speak shows that you are engaged, sincere, and comfortable in the interaction. Avoiding eye contact can make you appear nervous or unsure, even if your words are strong. But eye contact is not about staring, it's about creating a natural connection. Brief, steady eye contact during key moments of conversation is enough to project confidence without making the other person uncomfortable. Your facial expressions also play a role in your body language. A calm, relaxed face communicates self-control, while a tense or overly serious expression can create distance. A genuine smile can instantly make you appear more approachable and confident. The key is authenticity. Forced expressions are easy to spot and can reduce trust. Gestures are another tool for confident communication. Using your hands naturally while speaking helps emphasize your points and shows enthusiasm. However, overusing gestures or fidgeting can create the opposite effect. Controlled, purposeful movements make your communication stronger, while random or restless movements can signal anxiety. Your physical presence also contributes to your body language. When you walk into a room, the way you move can influence how others perceive you. Walking with a steady pace, keeping your head up, and maintaining awareness of your surroundings shows that you are comfortable in the environment. Small details like where you sit in a meeting, how you enter a group conversation, and how you stand in a crowd all reflect your level of confidence. Breathing is another hidden factor that impacts your body language. When you are anxious, your breathing becomes shallow and quick, which can make your movements look tense. Slow, steady breathing calms your mind and helps you move and speak with greater composure. This is why many confident speakers take a moment to breathe before answering a question or making a point. Practicing confident body language is not about pretending to be someone you're not. It's about aligning your outer expression with your inner strength. Many people have the ability and knowledge, but undermine themselves through nervous gestures, closed posture, or a lack of presence. By becoming aware of these habits and adjusting them, you project the confidence you already have inside. The more you practice, the more natural it becomes. Over time, confident body language stops feeling like something you have to remember and becomes part of who you are. When you enter a room, people notice your presence without you having to say anything. When you speak, your gestures, tone, and posture work together to reinforce your words. The people you spend time with have a powerful influence on your personality, confidence, and overall growth. Whether you realize it or not, the conversations you hear, the attitudes you absorb, and the energy you feel from those around you slowly shape the way you think and behave. This is why surrounding yourself with positive people is one of the most important steps in improving yourself. Positive people don't mean people who are happy all the time or who ignore reality. True positive people are those who see challenges but focus on solutions, who acknowledge difficulties but believe in possibilities, who encourage growth instead of feeding fear. Being around such people changes the way you see your own life. Negativity is contagious, but so is positivity. If you are constantly surrounded by people who complain, criticize, and doubt everything, it's only a matter of time before you start thinking the same way. You may not even notice it happening at first. Small negative comments. On the other hand, being around positive people has the opposite effect. Their mindset challenges you to think bigger. Their encouragement pushes you to take action. Their belief in possibilities makes you question your own limits. Over time, you start adopting the same outlook. You become more optimistic, more resilient, and more willing to take risks. Positive people also hold you to higher standards. They don't just make you feel good, they challenge you to be better. They call you out when you make excuses, and they push you to keep going when you want to quit. This kind of support is essential for building confidence because it reminds you that you are capable of more than you think. It's also important to note that surrounding yourself with positive people is not about using them for motivation. It's about creating a mutual exchange of energy. You contribute positivity to their lives just as they contribute to yours. Healthy relationships are built on support, encouragement, and shared growth. Finding positive people doesn't mean you have to completely cut off everyone who is negative. Sometimes negativity comes from people you care about deeply. In such cases, you can set boundaries and limit the amount of time and energy you invest in negative conversations. At the same time, make a conscious effort to spend more time with those who lift you up. Positive people can be found in many places: mentorship programs, professional communities, learning groups, or even through books, podcasts, and videos. You don't always need to meet them in person to be influenced by them. Learning from people who have the mindset you aspire to adopt can be just as powerful. Over time, you'll notice that your circle shapes your standards. When you're surrounded by people who are ambitious, hardworking, and optimistic, you naturally raise your own level of thinking. Your personality becomes more confident because the people around you reinforce belief in growth, persistence, and success. Confidence grows faster in an environment of encouragement than in one of constant doubt. When you see others taking action, facing challenges, and moving forward despite fear, you start to believe you can do the same. The energy of a positive circle pushes you to step outside your comfort zone and to keep improving yourself every day. Failure is something most people fear, but it is one of the most valuable experiences you can have in life. Every successful person has failed, not once or twice, but many times. The difference is how they respond to failure. Some people let it destroy their confidence, while others accept it gracefully and use it as a stepping stone for growth. Accepting failure gracefully does not mean pretending it doesn't hurt. Failure can be disappointing, frustrating, and sometimes even painful. But it means you don't let failure define you. You see it as a temporary event, not a permanent identity. You understand that failure is proof you were willing to try, to take a risk, and to step beyond your comfort zone. When you fail, the natural reaction is to blame yourself, others, or circumstances. But blame doesn't help you grow. A graceful acceptance of failure means stepping back and asking, what can I learn from this? What can I do differently next time? Every failure contains valuable lessons that success cannot teach. Confidence is often misunderstood as the absence of failure. In reality, true confidence is built by facing failure and continuing anyway. When you survive setbacks, your belief in yourself becomes stronger because you've proven that failure is not the end. It's simply part of the process. Accepting failure gracefully also shapes your personality. People who handle failure with calmness and maturity stand out. They don't panic, they don't complain, and they don't give up. Instead, they adapt, adjust, and move forward. This kind of mindset attracts respect because it shows strength under pressure. It's important to remember that failure is not a sign of weakness, it's a sign of effort. The only people who never fail are the ones who never try. If you take no risk, you avoid failure, but you also avoid growth. Each failure you face is a sign that you are challenging yourself, pushing your limits, and moving towards something bigger. The way you speak about your failures also matters. Talking about them openly without shame shows that you have learned from them. Sharing your mistakes and the lessons you gain not only strengthens your own confidence, but also inspires others who may be afraid to try. People admire those who can turn setbacks into stories of resilience. Gracefully accepting failure also means not comparing your journey to others. Some people may appear to succeed faster, but you don't see the hidden failures they experience along the way. Your timeline is unique, and your failures are part of what makes your success meaningful. It's not, instead of fearing failure, prepare for it. Understand that it will come at different stages of your life in different forms. When it arrives, it will test your patience, your perseverance, and your belief in yourself. The more you face it, the less power it has over you. Over time, you stop seeing failure as an enemy and start seeing it as a teacher that guides you toward better strategies, better decisions, and better results. The way you dress is more than just clothing. It's a form of communication. Before you say a single word, your appearance is already sending a message about who you are, how you see yourself, and how much you respect the situation you are in. Dressing to express yourself is not about wearing expensive brands or following every trend. It's about choosing clothes that reflect your personality, your values, and your confidence. Clothing can have a strong psychological impact. When you wear something that makes you feel confident, you carry yourself differently. Your posture improves, your energy changes, and people notice the difference. This doesn't mean you need a large wardrobe. It means you should be intentional about what you wear and how it aligns with the image you want to project. Dressing to express yourself starts with understanding your own style. Some people feel confident in formal clothing, others in casual, and some in creative or unique styles. The key is to find what makes you feel comfortable and authentic, because confidence grows when your outer appearance matches your inner self. At the same time, dressing appropriately for the environment is equally important. Expressing yourself doesn't mean ignoring the context. A confident personality knows how to adapt. What you wear to a business meeting may be different from what you wear to a social event, but in both cases, your clothing should represent you well. Dressing appropriately shows that you respect the occasion and the people you are meeting. Attention to detail also matters. Well-fitted clothes, clean shoes, and neat grooming make a bigger difference than most people realize. Small things like these signal self-respect. When you take care of your appearance, it shows that you value yourself and the impression you create. Dressing to express yourself also means avoiding the trap of trying to please everyone. Not everyone will like your style, and that's okay. Your clothing should represent your personality, not someone else's expectations Over time, you will find a style that feels natural to you, and when you wear it, your confidence will speak for itself. Another powerful aspect of dressing well is the consistency it creates in your personal image. When people see you, they form impressions quickly. If you consistently present yourself in a way that reflects confidence, professionalism, and authenticity, people begin to associate these qualities with you automatically. Your clothing also influences the way people respond to you. While appearance is not everything, first impressions are real. Dressing in a way that reflects your confidence can make interactions smoother. Whether you're meeting new people, attending interviews, or representing yourself in public, the goal is not perfection, but alignment. Your clothing should align with the person you are becoming. As your confidence grows, your style will naturally evolve. What matters most is that your appearance feels like an honest extension of your personality rather than a mask you wear to fit in. Helping others is one of the most powerful ways to develop a stronger personality and deeper confidence. In a world where many people focus on what they can gain, choosing to help without expecting anything in return sets you apart. It reflects strength, not weakness, because it shows that you have enough confidence in yourself to give without needing constant validation. When you help someone, you are not just solving a problem for them. You are building trust, respect, and goodwill. People remember how you make them feel, and genuine kindness creates a lasting impact. The key is to help because you want to, not because you are calculating what you will receive in return. Helping without expectation also builds inner strength. It frees you from disappointment because your motivation doesn't depend on the other person's reaction. Sometimes the people you help will thank you, sometimes they won't, and sometimes they may even forget what you did for them. But when your intention is pure, their response doesn't affect your peace of mind. This mindset also shapes your personality in a positive way. People who help others genuinely tend to be more patient, empathetic, and understanding. They learn to see situations from different perspectives and understand struggles that are not their own. This kind of empathy makes your personality more approachable and trustworthy. Confidence also grows when you help others. Each time you contribute to someone's success, even in a small way, you strengthen your own belief that you can make a difference. This creates a sense of purpose, and purpose is one of the strongest foundations for confidence. Helping without expecting return also builds strong networks over time. While the goal is not to gain, the reality is that people naturally remember those who supported them. Many opportunities in life come unexpectedly from the goodwill you've built through acts of genuine help. But the moment you make helping a transaction, the authenticity disappears. The habit of helping others can be practiced daily in simple ways. It doesn't always have to be big gestures. Listening to someone who needs support, sharing knowledge that could benefit them, or connecting them to a useful resource are all ways to help. Sometimes the smallest acts of kindness create the biggest impact in someone's life. This approach also creates a sense of abundance. When you help without keeping score, you send a signal to yourself that you are not losing anything by giving. You operate from a mindset of plenty, not scarcity. This abundance mindset not only builds confidence, but also attracts people who value integrity and generosity. Helping others without expectation requires patience and emotional maturity. There will be moments when your efforts are ignored or misunderstood. In those moments, it's easy to become discouraged or stop helping altogether. But if your motivation is rooted in your values, you continue because helping is part of who you are, not because of the reaction you receive. Over time, this habit shapes the way people see you. You become known as someone dependable, trustworthy, and sincere. Your personality naturally reflects strength because your actions are driven by choice, not by the need for approval. Confidence grows quietly in this process, grounded in the knowledge that you have the ability to make a difference without needing anything in return. In conclusion, improving your personality and confidence is not about sudden transformations. It's about consistent daily actions that slowly shape who you become. Every habit you practice, from starting your day with gratitude to surrounding yourself with positive people, builds a stronger version of yourself. Confidence grows when you step out of your comfort zone, when you keep learning, when you carry yourself with assurance, and when you help others without expecting anything in return. These daily tips may seem small, but together they create powerful change. Your personality becomes richer because you are constantly learning, adapting, and improving. Your confidence becomes stronger because you are proving to yourself day by day that you can handle challenges, make progress, and add value to the world around you. The truth is, personality and confidence are not gifts you are born with. They're skills you develop. Every day is an opportunity to work on them. The more you practice these habits, the more natural they become, until one day you realize that confidence is no longer something you are trying to show. It's simply a part of who you. Shaping your personality and building unshakable confidence is a journey of small, intentional steps taken every day. By practicing gratitude, communicating clearly, embracing incremental growth, stepping beyond your comfort zone, learning continuously, projecting confident body language, surrounding yourself with positive influences, accepting failure as a teacher, dressing authentically, and helping others without expectation, you craft a stronger, more resilient version of yourself. Therefore, there's habits, though simple, compound over time into profound transformation. Your personality becomes a reflection of your growth, and your confidence becomes a natural part of who you are. Start today. Commit to these daily actions and watch as you become the person you've always envisioned. One day, one choice, one step at a time.